Part three of this episode, you guys, we had 2 episodes, very good debate. In this episode coming up, we're going to talk about celebrity culture and influence, micro cheating. If anybody have heard of that before, we're going to also talk about are men better at separating sex from emotion, and we're going to talk about the real root cause of this whole thing, and then we're going to have some at the end. We're going to have some rapid fire questions. So I want you guys to stay tuned and be prepared.
Are you ready for some controversy? Yeah. Are you ready for some fun? Yeah. Yeah. Are you ready for some laughs? Yeah. Let's get unfiltered with Psycho 4081.
Hi, we're back, and we're going to talk about, again, celebrity culture and influence and micro cheating. Anybody heard of micro cheating before? This is the first time I've actually heard of it. I looked it up.
No, I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it either. But we're going to talk about are men better at separating sex from emotions, and why, and the real root cause of all of this type stuff. And then my favorite is going to be this the rapid fire question at the end. So that part is going to be a total opinion thing. You don't have to have no academic background or whatever. Just say what's on your mind. So get into it. Talk about celebrity culture and influence. We're going to discuss how entertainment normalizes cheating, and we could reference Future. Anybody know the rapper Future? Beyonce and her thing, Lemonade. If you want to, I know it's going to, trigger somebody when it comes to that. To Beyonce, we're talking about her Lemonade thing, and then Temptation Island. So my question is this: has modern entertainment made loyal look boring?
Yes.
Okay. Why? When I say why do you say that?
Because anything you turn on, when you turn on TV, when you turn on social media, when you look at every reality show, everybody's cheating, and it's exciting. They paint it out as exciting.
Okay.
It's the same way. It's the same way how they used to portray drinking alcohol as being cool, or smoking cigarettes as being cool, being someone with stature and influence. So when you see these television shows, drama series, reality shows, they actually romanticize cheating.
Okay. Now, back to what you said, and I'm thinking about what you said. If you go back to it, I don't follow the whole Real Housewives, real this, but going back to television, back in the 70s, right? You had Family, and you had, and I could throw some shows out there. You had Good Times, you had The Jeffersons, you had All in the Family, you had what else? Some other family things, but most of, going back to the early ones, Leave It to Beaver, but most of those shows, when you looked at television, they emphasized the Cosby Show. They emphasized family, loyalty, whatever. Even didn't matter if they were rich, poor, or whatever, black, white. They always emphasized that. So, what is it about this modern entertainment that makes being loyal or loyalty in general make it look so boring? Anybody have an opinion on that? Bert, I know you have an opinion on that.
I'm sorry, say it again, please.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm still working, I'm sorry.
So, we were talking about, how modern entertainment makes loyal or being loyal look boring, right? Do you agree with that, or do you think it's something else?
Makes loyalty look boring.
Paul said yes.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I don't think I agree with that.
Okay. So taking a look at modern entertainment, when we talked about Future, Beyonce, the whole Lemonade thing that was a breakout album, and Temptation Island, and all the rest of them, like the Real Housewives of, or Love and Hip Hop season, whatever. You don't think that the entertainment now, the people watching that, makes someone being loyal look boring?
I don't know, because I think there's more entertainment out there besides just that type of stuff. And some of the entertainment that you might find, say, on social media may show quote unquote happy couples. And things are going well, and different types of couples, different options, including like interracial or just happy families, things looking nice and maybe to the extreme of good for a loyal relationship, I guess. Maybe unrealistic to a certain extent.
Okay, so when you look
I
at,
think it could go either way.
wait a minute,
Can't hear Paul.
Paul, what were you saying?
I was saying those options, however, they are available, but they have diminished greatly over time
because of ratings.
Right now, just to piggyback when you said like the shows. Okay, let's take Good Times. You mentioned Good Times. Florida and James was in the ghetto, going through struggles, going through everything. I mean, financial problems, to say the least. They stood together. You had shows that went through adversity and they showed these problems, and they showed the once again the things that can come up in relationships and marriages. They stood together. They stood through the storm or adversity. In these times, you're more likely to see a situation happen, and soon the first sign of adversity, they're out of here.
Boom, done.
Or they're hooking up with a woman or another man. So even though those nice, good, wholesome options may be still around, I can almost guarantee the percentage that's being viewed or that's available now has diminished greatly over the years.
Okay, so
I think a lot of it is because people don't want to show the struggle. They don't want to struggle. They want instant gratification,
Exactly.
So to show them struggle, it makes them, in their eyes now, look weak. They don't want to struggle with a person, but you want to be with the person when it's time to, when you won already. You don't want to go with me through the struggle, but when it's time to, get that gratification and get those awards, or
Yeah.
So
then you want to be there.
So are you saying that the entertainment is just mirroring what society is going through, or
I think at this point, entertainment is mirroring what society. It used to be the opposite. Society would try to do what entertainment was doing. But at this point, you got so many people. Like I said, us black people, we make the best of what we got. You think we're living a great life.
Okay. So let me ask you something. When you look at, and I'm not a big TV watcher, but
a lot of these videos,
when you look at
and things,
when you look at
videos,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You see a lot of these videos, and the videos are showing the glow up, how they already won.
Mm-hmm.
They won it already. They're not showing nobody struggling to get there, showing the progression. So I think at this point, it's society imitating. No, it's entertainment portraying society now. It used to be the other way around, but it's not. Like you have the rappers want to be drug dealers. They're portraying drug dealers in their videos now instead of rappers. I remember the drug dealers only did it to get out.
Right.
They did it to get out, and they portrayed it. They want to be singers. They wanted to be rappers and stuff. Now it's the opposite. You make all this money, you want to be this person. And I know I took you around the barn, but I'm saying this. I'm saying that to say that these people are portraying, entertainers are portraying society. So that's what the younger version and some of us are saying. Like we want to win. I should be able to win right now.
Okay.
Not later on, but now.
So if you look at TV today, TV and movies and videos, if people still watch videos, whether it be YouTube or, whatever video channel, what would you say the percentage is, or the ratio of families showing family unity and loyalty
You ain't gotta
versus
waste your breath. Little to none.
little.
Little to none. They don't show families. Family's not the same anymore. And if it is, it's a broken family.
Okay.
The whole idea of a strong family, and I don't even want to put race in this, but strong family, it's very little on TV and in entertainment now. You may have to watch the movie to see that, but on television, it's a thing of the past.
Okay. Anybody disagree with that? Those of you who were avid TV watchers.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nope.
I think that's pretty much cut and dry when it comes to that. And like I said, I don't watch TV that often, and if I do, I'm watching something that I choose on streaming. But I just know the old shows that we watched when we were younger, the Cosby shows and shows of that nature, always focused on family versus, you have the broken families or the, and I think that started with Dallas. I don't know if you guys remember the TV show Dallas.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yes.
it's funny. I was talking to somebody today about how specifically the skits on Country Wayne. It's all
Oh,
about cheating. Everybody's everywhere. That's how much modern society is throwing it out there. Like it's like all his skits is just everybody's cheating
Mhm.
because it's like you said. Was it Emily?
Cheating is exciting.
Yeah.
Cheating generates clicks and views.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay. So I think we all basically agree on that part. It's just I think that entertainment is just reflecting what's in society. I don't think TV is any more creative. In fact, I think they're less creative when it comes to entertainment, and I think they're taking what they see and hear in regular society, whether it be in their own homes or friends' homes or whatever hits the news, and putting it out there and just making it into an entertainment venue for people. But anyway, I want to go with this one term, and I think we mentioned this in the last episode or the first episode. Micro cheating, right? And when we talk about micro cheating, that's the liking the thirst traps, the keeping exes around, secret friendships, flirty texting, hidden passwords. That's what they consider micro cheating. Now, the hidden passwords, I'm gonna talk about that one because I don't agree with that one. But anyway, the question for you guys is, where does harmless behavior in regards to that micro cheating, where does it become betrayal? And I'm gonna start with the women on this because I think that'll get their goat easier. Words, what do you say? Where does harmless behavior become betrayal when it comes to the micro cheating? And I explain what the micro cheating is in this case.
I think it kind of goes back to that earlier topic from the other chapter or part 1 or 2. I think this accessibility. I think when you're hiding it from the other person, I think when you're doing things for that one person that you're not doing for others. So say, for example, like commenting on social media or in DMs or something inappropriately, and say is serial commenting on what most would see as inappropriate pictures or videos, or obvious flirting, or sexual type comments, or flirtatious comments, or
so basically you're saying liking the thirst traps.
Yeah, liking, commenting on them. And then a lot of times, because I think someone said earlier something about like people display their lives. So you might be thanking them for sharing something by liking it, like acknowledging them. But then if you don't do the same thing with your partner, if your partner may post, anything per se, like cute pictures or something like that, and all the attention is going to somebody else, but not to your partner, then I think that's like where it's crossing that line. It makes you wonder.
Okay, so the inequity, the the giving unequal or inappropriate attention away from now when we talk about social media, I'm going to add this in there based on what you said, and this is where it can get kind of sticky when you talk about like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok and all these different things. I think from what I discovered that sometimes that even like when my family posts certain things, I said, did you see such and such? I'm like, no, it never came across my feed. So I think that's where you can get in trouble when it comes to that, because it's not about, they clicked on this person and not yours. It might be that yours may not come across their feed. You may not post some of the same things that's, in their algorithm, or you don't post enough where it fits the algorithm. So that part I think is a little, little sticky when it comes to that.
Could it be that the algorithm is based upon what type of stuff a person is looking at, or how much they're interacting with people's posts? So if they're serial liking, loving, or commenting on specific people's posts, but not commenting, and sometimes you have to actually go to a person's page maybe to comment. If they aren't commenting on, someone else's, they're not going to see that person's as much. I think the person that they're giving their attention to, they're going to see that in their feed more often.
I think that works a little bit like that, but it's also the type of content. And the only reason I know this is because on my social media is monetized. So there's a back office that you can see why you have a certain algorithm, and it'll actually tell you, hey, do this. So I think it's not always what you or who you're clicking on. It could be also their interests as well. If you have common interests, or the from what I've seen on the back office is the frequency of your posts as well. So there's a lot of things in that, and I think that's a sticky situation to compare. Say something's inappropriate because they don't see yours, or they don't click on yours, but they click on somebody else's. But you're saying that where that harmless behavior becomes betrayal is, again, the accessibility and the inequity in how they interact. Is that what you're saying? Hiding. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anybody?
Like, what if they have a passcode, a private passcode, or private folders? What are they hiding with the private passcodes, or what are they hiding with private folders? What's the purpose of it? It's typically because they don't want someone, if they have things in there that they would not want their significant other to see, that's where they put it, because the intention is, I don't want you to see the, say, titty pics or something that they've requested for someone to send them, or anything like that. So they put them in that private little folder. Okay, so special passcode.
We want to get on that the whole accessibility part, because that's going to be another category. We want to talk about that, but I'm going to get back to that.
People still send titty pics.
Oh, say again.
People still sending titty pics.
Absolutely, worse than that. Don't act like you don't have none in your inbox.
And the thing would be, did they request it and receive it, or was it just sent randomly?
That I don't even think, honestly, in my opinion, I don't even think that matters whether they requested or they received it. It's all the same, No,
I think it matters if your significant other requested the picture.
No. We're not talking about the significant other, because that doesn't. I mean, what a significant other does, and between you and them, that's whatever. That's whatever limits you guys sit. So I don't think that actually matters. But I'm talking about just in general. If a person gets some let's say nude photos and they requested it or whether they actually accepted it and whatever. I don't think it's no difference. You still got it and you still enjoying it and you're doing whatever. But I do want to come back to the part about the passwords and the accessibility and privacy, and how much privacy is a person allowed to have. So I'm gonna go back to that one. But anybody had anything different from where harmless behavior? Anybody deviate from what Wirtz said when it comes to harmless behavior becoming betrayal? Anybody? Okay. So we're gonna talk about emotions. And wait a minute. I mean, let's think about this for a second. Do we go into the privacy thing? Let's go into the privacy thing before we get it. So we're gonna talk about the privacy thing. How much access should your significant other have? Does it include your passwords to your phone, your social media, your email, or should your significant other, and we're talking about girlfriend, boyfriend, however, or husband and wife, should they have full access to everything? That's what my question is. And let's go with Dimitri on this one. We're going to start with you.
I'd say yeah. I mean, you got nothing to hide.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. Access to everything.
So, okay, so you're saying that your girlfriend or your wife should have access to all your text messages, your phone, your emails, your social media, your DMs, everything.
Whoa. I take that back.
Oh.
No. I take that back because on a business aspect, if we dealing with your job or something like that, you don't want her looking through that. So no, there's a limit on that. So I don't think she should have full access to not to everything, but certain things, yes.
Okay. And I'm gonna come back to you on that one since you said certain things. Paul, what do you think?
I believe that two couples should be able to exercise a level of communication and trust in the relationship. Okay. Now, I'm not saying withholding passwords and things like that, but I just don't believe that if you have to have person demand access over everything, then maybe y'all not in the right relationship.
Boom. Drop the hammer, son.
I dropped that, right? Yes, sir.
Well, hold on, Paul. I got to pick that hammer up.
Okay.
Because for me, I look at it differently. Nobody should automatically have the rights to have access to your stuff. I don't like when a woman tell me what a man should be or what a man should do, because you've never been a man before. I don't like for a woman or a man, to tell me what I should do. That's a conversation that's had. But when it becomes your significant other, and I'm not saying every girlfriend you meet or every woman you meet, you're in relationship with her for 2 or 3 years, and then, okay, you got here's all my passwords, codes, and everything. No. If it's somebody that's significant, someone that basically when you go, they inherit everything. It don't even have to be your wife. It's just an unwritten rule. I think, for me, my memory is not the greatest memory in the world. So my lady has all of my passwords, all of my passcodes, and this is voluntarily. This isn't, give me this because I don't trust you. I give it to her because she remembers things that I'm supposed to do that I forget to do. My mind is somewhere else most of the time, on the job or on what we're going to do for fun, and she's thinking of the grittier things in life so that we can have fun, things of that nature. So, of course, she has my email address. She has the key to where my Social Security card is and things of that nature. She has these codes. And, of course, the code to my phone. If something happens to me, she's with me, need to get in there. Nobody remembers phone numbers anymore. Need to call my brother, mother, father, somebody. She's there. She has to, be able to make that phone call. So I think it depends on your situation and You know,
Right.
nobody should be guaranteed anything.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna
Nobody
say.
should make you do anything, but I don't think there's anything wrong with them having.
And to be clear, you're referring to your wife.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And you said two things. You said significant. That is that big phrase. And then also you said that you voluntarily,
Right. No entitlement.
Yeah.
you made
Exactly.
that choice.
Right.
Yeah. And
I don't
even
think
before being so like wife material, any type of material like that, we had to establish some trust. And trust came with longevity, a lot of mistakes, things
right.
of that nature. But like you said, Paul, I made that decision. No one is making it for me.
Because I'm like that too. Like I don't. Some things it's easier for my significant other to have access to because number one, some things I just don't. I just don't want to deal with or handle, and they love doing it.
That's
And
true.
Now,
number two.
wait a minute. Let me interject here. We're not talking about, birth certificates and, stuff like that. We're
No,
talking
the passcodes.
we're
to
talking
this
about
stuff.
we're talking about we're not we're talking about things. Now, the safe, okay, we get that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about your social media, because remember we talked about the microchip, text messages, the phone, um, everything that you would consider that you would keep away from most people. That's what we're really talking about.
Yeah, and I would say the same thing
Okay.
because I leave all of my social media. Well, I'm not on social media a lot, but
Right.
the TikTok and whatever that I'm on, I leave that open. So
Okay.
she grabbed my phone, she can see everything. There's times I say, "Hey, look at this." I'll walk away. I forget. I leave my phone with her, and I'm at work, and she called. Hey, you forgot your phone. So it's goes back to what I was saying. You have to talk about it, want to do it. You're not going to make me do it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it,
Right.
depending on your level of relationship with this person.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And a personal choice.
So let me ask some of the ladies here. And I'm gonna go with Amara first, right? The question was in reference to privacy. Should your significant other have full, total, unrestricted access to all your devices, social media, phone, whatever? And the keyword is unrestricted. That's for you, Amara.
It's just loud out here. I'm still on my way home. But ultimately, if you're married, yes. If you're just dating, no.
Okay, so married, yes. Everything, dating, no. Okay.
Right.
Words. What do you think when it comes to privacy?
I think it's the person's choice, individual choice. I don't think that anybody should be made to share that information. I think it's important that people share it with somebody. I think that the men need to stay out of the girls' chat.
We're talking privacy here.
Yeah, I think that the men need to stay out of the ladies' chat.
Oh,
so I don't think that the men should have access to the ladies' chat. They might get their feelings hurt.
I got you. Well, and it's valid. No,
I agree.
That's valid. I want to hear what Tiffany has to say on this one, and then I'm gonna give you my personal opinion on that and why.
So let me start with the caveat which is that my husband and I were together for 16 years. And we're married for 16 years and together for 19. So I am 43. So I have not dated in that sense since I was, 23 years old, 24 years old, right? So I don't understand the concept of casual dating and whether or not there's a difference between when you say dating versus somebody that you are in an actual serious and committed relationship with. So What I would say is that I am an open book, me personally, and I think that partners should have access to each other's information, passwords. And it's not because I think you're cheating, give it to me. It's because I don't have anything to hide and I don't care that you have it. I'm not a phone checker. I'm not a message checker. I'm not an email checker. So even if I mean, like I have all of my son's social media on my phone and I don't even go and look at his stuff. I don't have that capacity or that kind of time in a day. So I think that if you're doing it because you think the person is cheating, that's a completely different issue. I just think that in a relationship, there should be transparency and access generally if this is the person that you're in a committed relationship with, whether that is a marriage or just a committed long-term relationship.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. So I'm going to say this. I think it depends on the person's and your personality and your relationship. Um, when I say personality, and the person and the personality, it matters. Some people are more private than others, and me personally, I'm a very private person, but I will divulge information to those to what information I want to whomever I want. So the reason why I say that privacy is a good thing, and me personally that people should not have open access to my stuff. This is my reasons, right? And I had to write these down because I didn't want to miss anything. You got to know who you're dealing with too. People are emotional. You have emotional people, okay? And there are situations that when somebody have access to your things, it could take a 1 day, 1 minute, 1 hour, whatever, when that person decides to, hey, you know what? I'm going to get that person back, right?
Yeah.
So you leave yourself open and you're putting yourself in a vulnerable position when it comes to that. We're not perfect people, and we're not always a nice, pleasant person all the time. People do seek revenge for certain things, or have certain thoughts. So that's one of the reasons I'm not going to do it. You may be perfect today, but that 1 day out of the year, it might be enough to cause problems that I don't want to deal with, or it's going to sink us. That's one. And that goes with people who are, may have a that spiteful vein in them. They may not show it, but they have it in there. So all it does take is one misunderstanding, one miscommunication or whatever, and then boom, it hits the fan. Secondly, again, it goes back to the type of person, and not a lot of times I don't even want to leave it up to the type of person. So that's my blanket thing. You may have a misinterpretation of what you decide to go seek, right? You may see a message, you may see an email, you may see information of some sort that, or even a photo that you may misinterpret, mistime, a lot of things. And now you're dealing with this unnecessary, pile of shit that you don't feel that you need to deal with. Okay. And again, it also goes to communications. Everybody is not going to be as comfortable when it comes to communicating their inner self or their full past or their emotions or whatever. So some things I do think that people should have and keep private. And I'm not talking about, like emergency contacts or, how to, get to certain things, or I don't even have a problem with somebody answering my phone. That's not a big deal. But it's some of the other things, when you give somebody, and again, I'm a practical joker, and I deal with people who are practical jokers also. That's a bit of vulnerability that you leave yourself open to when somebody knows your passwords to things or have access to certain things. But basically, personalities matter, and when I say not just their personality, my personality, I don't want to put myself in a vulnerable situation, whether it be, somebody being angry with me, somebody being jealous, somebody being spiteful, vengeful, or whatever. That's my basic line. I do give access to certain things that I think people should have access to. I'm not saying entitled to, should have access to. You know, if you need to contact somebody in my phone, you already have that number. You already have the emergency numbers. And if we're in that type of situation, you know who to call. You don't need the access to my phone. You don't need to know why I have a hidden folder. You don't need to know the password to all these different things, because what's for you is for you, what's not. And then in the reverse, if that person had all those, I'm not going to go looking. I'm not like Wirt said, I'm not going to, read that person's message. I'm not going to go on that person's phone. I'm not going to, look at that person's emails and things like that, because again, I might read something that I might misinterpret, whatever, and have me feeling some type of way. Then there's a problem, and an unnecessary problem. So if it's for me, I'll find out. If it's for me, it'll be given to me. So that's my part on that. But I'm glad, Wirt, you brought that up, because I think that's important when it comes to, cheating. Everybody just doesn't have restrict access just because they have something to hide, or because they're doing anything wrong. It's just that certain things that people want to keep private for a number of reasons, and I just basically mentioned a few. So anybody disagree with what I said, or see what I said as being unreasonable?
I agree 100%.
Okay. Wirt, how do you feel about that?
I can't answer to it right now.
Okay.
I'm stepping out of the office.
Okay. All right. So, and again, that's going to
Hey, Brian, one thing I noticed too, is to piggyback off of that.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I know you said, they could have certain aspects of your private codes or whatever the case may be, but not entitled to them. But what I noticed too is, with certain women, once you're forthcoming and you're open about, hey, if I'm not going to lay everything out on the table my whole life, this is what you needed, this is what you go through, you can find everything about me. But when those things come up, like, or I give her my phone or something, like, hey, see if you can call such and such. When you're open about that, they don't even want to look. They don't search. It's just when they perceive you to be private about it, and not just females, but males too. If I've seen guys, like family and friends, if the woman is forthcoming with, whatever it is, here go my phone. Can you make the reservations for me? Can you do this? Or hold my phone for me. She's running to go and do something. Most of the time, the guy's not looking through it, because you feel like, hey, I don't have a reason to look through this. She's open. And the same thing for the female. Well, he's open to me having the phone. I don't have to look through it. There's a level of trust already.
Okay, and I would agree with that as well. I definitely would agree with that. However, I do, when it goes back to the personalities, I think there's some people that look for things maybe out of curiosity or whatever, or they just look for things to be validated, so for whatever their reasons, and then when they do access that, there's a issue now coming. And also, let me tell you this is another thing too, going back to what Dimitri said when he mentioned work. But sometimes you have other people that you are trying to protect. It doesn't have to be anything that you did wrong or you're doing wrong, but you may have information from other people about other people that you have to protect. I don't want, I deal with a lot of people, on a friendship level or on a professional level. And if they have something that they send to me and I want them to feel open to say whatever they want or to send whatever they want, and we can discuss it however it is, I don't want somebody on the outside accessing that. So if somebody sends me something, I want them to be sure that, one, nobody else is going to get that information. Nobody's going to get that conversation we're having. Nobody else is going to get that.
That's
Yes.
That's something you can't divulge. I wouldn't.
That is very important to me. I don't want anybody to come back to me and say, hey, you know what? How did that get out? Or how did such and such get that information? No, it didn't come from me. And
yeah.
Say again?
Can I comment on something too?
Absolutely.
This is another reason why I say it goes by a certain extent on them having access to your phone. I was dating this one girl, right? I had this one girl's number that I work with, right? So we was able to have, when I worked for the hotel, we was able to have all the employees' numbers that we work with, just in case one of us call out. We can call the other person to come in and take our shifts, or we need a week off or something like that. We had to find the people to call to work for us and let our boss know. And I was dating this one girl, and I left my phone at our house, and I went to the gym and I forgot my phone. And when I realized I had left it at the house. When I went to the house to go pick her house back to pick it up, later on, come to find out, the girl that I had number in my phone, who I work with, she called me and said, "Hey, who's Dina? Blah 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 blah. This and that." I'm like, "What?" She's called me and said, "What? Are you sleeping with my man and this and that and that?" I had to go through that, and I'm like, "Whoa, no!" And then I'm trying to
Perfect
explain to
example.
her,
Perfect example.
I'm trying to explain to Dina, "Hey, this girl I work with, she's in my phone because if I need her to work or whatever, I got a bunch of people on my phone for working co-workers or whatever, and I had to go through that. That's another reason you have to have a draw a line on that.
That was a perfect example. And Mike, let me add that on there. Let me pick it back off of what you just said. Now, my former profession, I've been in many people's households where things hit the fan because of just what you said. They checked the phone or they called somebody out of the other person's phone, whether it be male or female, both count. And then there was a problem because they misinterpreted something that they formed their own opinion falsely.
Yes.
Based on what they saw. And not only is that embarrassing to the person, because now you got somebody, whoever they called, if they called the person, that's embarrassing to you. Like you bring in your shit to somebody else's household. That's why everything's not for everybody. But okay, go ahead.
Let me pick it back off of that. I'm sorry.
Right, drop the hammer once more.
Okay. Now, I've been a life insurance agent for 10 years, and I can tell you that's what the examples that y'all give, prime examples. Because when you have contacts and you meet people and you're trying to set up appointments and you things like that, and you have someone that goes and contacts these people, that's embarrassing, that's unprofessional, and you lose quite a amount of business.
Absolutely.
And your business and the business of insurance is word of mouth, and once they get out that you don't want to deal with this guy because he got this, he's with this woman who call you back and blah, blah, blah. That's why I say it comes back to a matter of communication and trust in a relationship. Now, access can be given, but it's not entitled and it should not be guaranteed.
Okay. I'm going to have to agree with that too. Okay. Now that we got that over with, hope everybody, got that out. So going back to cheating, right? It is said often that, men will claim that sex can be meaningless, whereas women often claim emotional connections matter more. Now, keep that in mind. So, are men better at separating sex from emotion? And if so, is that just biology or just an excuse? Now, I see Amara shaking her heads. I'm going to go with her first on this one. Answer the question first. Are men better at separating sex from emotion? And if so, is that biology or just an excuse?
No, they're not. They can front like they are. They'll front all day long like they are, but they get attached quicker than women do. And what was the second half of that question?
Is that well? You kind of nullified the second part, but is that biology or just an excuse? So you're saying that they don't. They're not better at separating sex from emotion.
They're not.
Okay, so
they're not.
The second part is
men make dick decisions from jump.
Okay. Well, that's not emotion though.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, hold that thought, Dimitri. What do you say? Are men?
Disagree with her 100%.
Okay.
I think we love sex. I don't care what you say. We are really good at separating sex from emotion. A girl could turn around and cheat. For most guys, I speak. Or cheat on the dude. Yeah, he gonna be mad. But when it comes to sex, if she giving it good, we're not gonna like sit there and just not want to have sex with her. I can speak for a lot of my friends, a lot of people I know.
Because we have those conversations.
Right.
Okay. So, Paul, what do you say? But I'm a co-sign what you just said. I'm going to say emphatically that men are much better at separating sex from emotion. And furthermore, I'm going to add to that it is biology and not just an excuse. I'm going to say it's biology because I personally believe that we are made, a lot of our thoughts and how we feel are controlled by our biology, even when it comes to sexual preference. And I ain't talking about, the type of woman or anything like that, or type of man. I'm talking about your preference as far as, if you like men, women, or both. So I do think that's biologically controlled. So yes, men are much better, like 98.987% better at separating sex from emotions. So Paul, what do you say? All right, wait. Go ahead.
Not only will I agree with you, I'll also agree on that percentage that you just gave. and I'm gonna tell you why. Men are better at separating emotions, during the physical act. Because I'm gonna tell you this. Okay. You have sex with me, you're gonna get emotionally attached.
Vice versa.
Hey.
That's a vice versa statement. But let me ask you this. And this is the stance, and this is what I'm actually calling it on, because this is what happened in my marriage.
Okay.
Why is it that, and this might be actually opening a door to another part of this, of what we're talking about. But why is it that when men cheat, they're hoping and praying and expecting and begging and crying and all this shit for the woman to stay, because they're all emotionally caught up in their emotions and shit. But if the woman goes and does exactly what the man did, it's fuck her, she a hoe, she a bitch. He all up in his feelings because she done went and gave the goodies to somebody else.
I was thinking the same thing. They can separate it until they get cheated on.
Y'all can sit there and say all day long that you're not emotionally whatever.
Hold on.
But if a woman does exactly what the man does to her, the man he ain't got nothing else to do with her. But if he does it to her,
let her finish.
Being together.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why.
They can't separate it then.
Okay.
Thank you.
I want to speak on it too.
Hold on. I can't have everybody jumping on each other. So now we heard what you said, and I'm gonna say that's a difference. But go ahead. Paul says he's going to tell you why.
I'm gonna tell you why. I gave you the percentage. 98. He said 98.12. Your man put it part of that 0.2%. So what I'm saying is that is true. That is, you are true. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying he falls into that percent. That's the 0.2%. So you just happen to be on the wrong side of the number.
So Mr. Paul, you mean to tell me I've been dating for the last 30 years, and I was married for about 5 of those 30. Okay?
You said, yeah, they all that in that 0.2.
Exactly. All of them, every single one of them in that 0.2.
That 0.2%. It's something in you.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
DNA magnetism that you
get me fuck out of here.
Okay, so let me.
You know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Because I had a lot of trauma.
Wait a minute. I
had a lot of trauma. So I'm gonna give you that.
Let me clarify that. Okay, because I think that with the ladies, just by your response, I think you're looking at it a different way than what's being presented. So when we say men are better at separating sex from emotion, we're talking about when a man has sex with a woman, all right, it's easier for that man to separate the emotional part from that sexual encounter versus a woman.
No.
So we're not talking about hold on. We're not talking about when a let's say if a woman cheats on a man, it just destroys his whole life versus how a woman does. We're not talking about that. We're talking about if you was to go out there and have meet somebody and y'all hit it off, you would be more emotionally attached than a man would be. A man cuz like okay, boom, and it's the next thing they walk off.
Exactly. No. I was going to give an example on that too. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, let her say it.
Go ahead. Go and you're saying that's not true.
It's not true.
No, I agree with you.
No, but Amara said it's not true.
It's not true, and I'll tell you why. Because as soon as you get it from that woman, in that moment, you immediately want to put chains on her. You immediately want her to be available to you whenever you want to fuck. You want her that.
No.
What are you doing? 2 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing?
Let me tell you
an example right now.
What's up?
Okay. 3 women, three different women that didn't want relationship with me. They said they wanted to be friends with benefits and all that, or just chill. We had sex each time. When they all caught me talking to another woman, they go crazy and went off.
Just like guys do.
Proves all of that to go in the trash can.
So just like guys do.
I'm gonna say this.
No.
Now, when
percentage,
if a woman, if a guy comes across a woman, and they had that first intimate relationship or that first intimate action or whatever.
Encounter, yeah.
Thank you. And it's that good where the man wants to keep going back and forth. It's not emotionally based. It's physically based. That's like if you have a junkie, you have a crackhead that gets a hit of that pipe, and that pipe is like, he's like, oh, this is some good stuff. He's going to want to keep coming back to that. He's going to want to go back to the Carter. That's what he's going to want to do. Versus a woman who gets involved, but the guy has that first encounter and is like, they start thinking about the emotional part. Oh, he's nice. He treated me nice. He did this. He did that. He did certain things for me that nobody else done for me. Whereas a man's going to be like, okay, once that's done and over with, it's done. Mostly. Now, there's exceptions to that rule. There's exceptions when, like, say, if you meet up with somebody and y'all already hit it off. You hit it off. I mean, like, I ain't talking about sexually, but you hit it off, mentally or emotionally already. Then
intellectual, yeah.
Yeah, but then again, it's not the physical part. They're not separating. They've already been attached emotionally, so they're not separating that person from the sex. That sex enhanced. That sex, comes with it. Unless you get somebody like a guy. That's only situation I think a guy would not fall in that category if he, you had that sexual encounter with that woman and, he had an out of body experience or something like that during it. Then of course he might be emotionally attached, but I still think that it's not just that. It'll be something that the woman gives emotionally, and I definitely don't believe that's for just in my experience and my observations. That's what I say. And I'm matter of fact, I'm gonna say the percentage is 99.899.
I approve that. I approve that message.
I approve that message too.
I disagree.
With a gold pen.
Okay. Because I personally, before I left Florida,
so you give it out of body experiences.
Huh? so Paul, go get something to eat.
Wait a minute. The question was asked, since this is unfiltered, the question was asked, do you give out of body experiences?
Oh, that was the question. Oh, I thought he was talking about that I be having out of body experiences. I'm like, go get something to eat. Yeah, I do. I've had a man cry before.
Oh, okay. Now
I've made a man cry before.
Now, were you already was he already emotionally attached first?
No.
Oh, okay. There you go. There's that point.
That
one,
point. That point. Yeah. He's a crier.
Go get something to eat, Paul. Go have your girl make a sandwich for you. Matter of fact, have her make you a whole fucking meal with some bacon, sausage, and some eggs, scrambled with some onions and cheese and that shit. God damn. No, nigga, them percentages are wrong.
All right, let's make it scientific. All right, let's make it scientific.
Google it.
Dimitri, what would you say the percentage of men?
99.8.9.10.102.
And that's clear. He cannot fucking count. It's clear.
I'm just telling you.
He can't count.
All
Clear.
Right. So is there anyone here who believes it's less than 99%?
Yes. Okay. I would say more like in the 60s.
60s, okay. Yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah. And let the other women speak.
Whoever's in here. Let her hey.
She already knows. She knows. She agrees with that 99.899999%.
I bet you she don't. I bet you she don't.
All right. If she does not speak up now or forever hold your peace. Boom, there you go.
Ask that question again.
Too late.
Ask that question again.
So the question was basically, are men better at separating sex from emotion? And I said we are. And I'm saying not even by a little margin. I'm saying a large margin. So the majority here says is at least 99.89% or higher that men are better than at separating sex from emotion than women.
I don't agree with that.
You don't?
And not that high. And when you say it, I know that you're referring to the man having sex with the woman and being able to separate the two.
Yes.
But when you talk about it, say like in general.
Yes.
In terms of a man having sex with the woman and it's just nothing, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I get that. But when it comes down to sex and emotions in general, when it happens against them, the woman having, like say in a cheating situation or something,
they're talking about baby girl. They're talking about in a one time, like the very first encounter that they come across a woman and they have sex with that woman, that men are able to. They can just shut it off.
It's not that big of a deal.
Yes.
Yeah, I can agree with that part. And that's why I say I know that you're talking about it in that respect of having sex with the woman. But in terms of sex and emotions, I think men can be quite emotional when it comes down to like intimate partners, but you're talking about a one night stand. I do know you're talking about a one night stand, but I think men and sexual stuff in general, men can be more emotional.
So when I'm agree with you when you said the first part, even though we weren't talking about that, but the first part.
I know. I threw that little wrench in there.
If a man's cheated on, it's a more of a traumatic experience than when a woman is cheated on by a man. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we know that women, when they cheat, they usually cheat emotionally first. And we spoke about it earlier, how they usually leave emotionally before they cheat. Well, I'm going to say usually, but sometimes they do more than guys. But they do have emotional engagements when they cheat, whereas a man does not. So for us, when your girl's cheating, it's like, oh, not only did she do the physical thing, but she did the mental thing, where a woman can actually say, oh, I can accept the fact that he not agree with it, but I can say that was just a physical thing, not an emotional thing. That's why it tears a man up, because
Brian.
Yeah.
Do you agree? And this is my thought, that by the time a woman physically cheats, she's actually gone out of that relationship that she's cheating on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's over.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that statement.
She's gone already.
Yeah, I think we spoke about in episode two or part two of this topic. So yeah, I think we all agreed when it came to that, right?
Absolutely.
Now, I'm going to talk about the real root causes, of the whole infidelity thing, and we know why women cheat more than men. So, all right. So,
do I need to have your woman go make you a sandwich too?
So I'm going to say this: root causes. And this could be men or women. Lack of communication. Just say yes or no. If somebody disagrees with me, say so. Lack of communication. Unrealistic expectations. Trauma.
Yes.
Definitely trauma. Ego.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Is the modern dating culture.
Yeah, it sucks.
And fear of being alone. And we talked about this in prior podcast episodes.
No.
Okay. So I'm going to say, and now I'm going to say what it applies more to men or women when it comes to those things. Lack of communication.
Men.
I'm going to say, the cause. The cause, yes, men. Lack of communication. Unrealistic expectation. Women.
Probably women.
Mm-hmm. Trauma. Women.
Women.
Both.
But men have it too. They just don't ever deal with theirs.
Well, it's
Ever.
not that one has it and one doesn't. We're saying more, right? So I'm gonna say trauma.
Women.
More women.
Women.
Ego.
Men.
Okay, I would agree with that. The modern dating culture.
Society.
Men.
Okay. Men. Okay.
Men.
Okay. Fear of.
I even think trauma is more men.
Oh, absolutely
than
not.
women.
Absolutely
I believe
not.
so. I feel like women are less likely to cheat because of certain traumas because they just will pull back, or sometimes trauma makes them stay in situations longer than what they should and stay loyal to people longer. I think men sometimes have horrible examples or how to be a man, basically, or no examples or mommy issues per se. And that causes them to be out here being extra male.
Okay.
I did not look at it from that perspective.
Now that you put it that way, we're gonna have to flip that seat.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna agree with what you said. Okay, I definitely agree with that.
Y'all.
Yeah.
I'm eating my sandwich.
So, fear of being alone, definitely a woman's thing.
Men. Men. That's why they have more than one woman and they can move on quicker.
Do you think
as soon as they break it with one woman, they already got a side chick on the other one, and they got another side chick on the other side.
Fear of being alone will keep a woman with a man that ain't crap, and she's gonna be loyal to him versus cheating on him.
Exactly.
No, so all right, let me put it in this perspective. So if a person has a fear of being alone, right, and they are not satisfied with whatever's going on, they have a fear of being alone.
He's gonna cheat.
They're gonna have options.
Exactly. So first of all, when it comes to men and women, let me put a percentage on this. When it comes to let me give it a ratio, a non-scientific ratio.
You gonna make me go eat an edible?
There is a 100 to 1 women that feels more, have a more feeling of being alone than men. 100 to 1, and I'm being conservative with that.
I don't think in today's day. I don't agree with that. Not in today's day. No.
My husband.
I think y'all believe that and want to believe that. I don't think so.
I think it's evident in almost every situation when it comes to that. Because a guy, I'm gonna tell you why. A guy is more okay with being alone because they always feel they have options. Let's talk about the age thing. Let's talk about the age thing. When a woman gets up there in age, now, I hate to sound like Kevin Samuels a bit, but when a woman gets up there in age, I think their options are much less as compared to a man who gets up there in age. So the worry is more on the woman's side than a man. A man doesn't worry about that because he feels that there's always going to be plenty of options, more options than they could handle versus a woman. And that's going by with the discussions I've had and seen and heard on.
That goes back to ego.
Thank you.
It's not my ego. It's not my ego because
that goes back to ego.
It may be a little bit of ego, but I'm just saying this is how people think. When it does make it real because if you look at the dating pool, right? When you go to, let's say, dating apps, or when it comes to, even society, when a woman gets older, let's say a woman is in her 60s or 65 or whatever, their options are a lot less than a man at that same age because society.
Having less options doesn't necessarily mean that they want the options. You're talking about loneliness. You're talking about fear of being lonely.
Exactly.
And having less options.
Exactly.
That's not always the same because you might have less options per se. Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe. But it doesn't mean that you're fearing being alone because a lot of times women have other women, friends.
Well,
they have more family. They're surrounded by their children or grandchildren.
Men have the same thing, but we're not talking.
No.
We're talking about relationships.
Wait.
Hold on a second. Let me throw this in there because you're kind of pointing it into a different direction. We're talking about in a relationship. Men and women will think the same thing too because I hear it from women. That once you start getting older, and you hear it from women, that a man, he's getting distinguished and this and that, whatever, real or false, it doesn't matter. But when a woman starts getting older, for the most part, and we're not talking about
aging like
hold on, let me finish.
Aging like fine wine.
Okay, and it does in some cases, yes, but in a lot of cases, that's not the case. They'll say, that she's the old maid or whatever, or she's going to have a cat, a whole bunch of different things. Whether it's real,
I feel like that's dated.
Whether it's
I
real,
really feel like those thoughts are dated.
Whether it's real or not, that is the perception, and it might be, the case for a lot of people. And you could look. You can see an old guy, and an old guy can have an older woman and a younger woman and a very younger woman versus, and I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about pretty much a lot versus a woman who's older that has wrinkles and a man who has wrinkles. The options out there, whether fair or not, and who cares about being fair because we're talking about reality, it's not the same.
You find a lot of older women with younger men.
Let's sigh. And I'm not saying it does not happen.
A lot of older women
keep saying,
with younger men.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm saying generally when it comes to that, men don't usually have that feeling of being alone. And I don't care whatever the situation is. And I'm not talking about some men. I'm saying the majority of men. There's going to be some men that has that.
There's a difference between feeling and being. So they may not have the feeling, but the reality is many men end up alone.
Well,
they may not feel like they're alone, but the reality.
But that's irrelevant because we're not talking about whether they're alone or not. We're talking about the fear.
But you said fear
of being alone. So if I'm alone,
fear of being alone, but the women don't necessarily have that fear.
Yes, they do.
Of being. No, they don't. No, not like that. Not the way you're thinking. I'm telling you. Yes, you do. I am telling you, not the way you're thinking. That is probably a dated way of thinking. That's old. Women are not having this fear necessarily of a fear of being alone in their old age.
Absolutely.
No,
I hear
that's
it.
a dated. That's a dated. That's a dated way of thinking.
You say it's dated.
It is. I'm telling you that.
What I've heard from other people.
Tiffany. What Tiffany? What's your thoughts?
She's not here.
She's not there. Nuh-uh. She says she's. Oh no.
All right. So let's say we can agree to disagree, but I'm gonna say, the thing is, let's vote. We have here. Who says that women is more susceptible to having fear of being alone?
Me?
Nobody. Move to the next question.
Who else?
I said it too.
And Dimitri. Okay. And who says they're not?
Me.
Me.
Okay. 3-2 men win. Okay. So now let's move on to the rapid fire questions. Now,
That was easy.
now, I want you guys to be honest with this, and it doesn't have to always be about yourself. Okay, so I'm gonna have basically, I think 6 or 7, 8 questions, whatever, and just tell me, how do you feel? Can a cheater truly change? Paul.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes,
Yes.
if they want to.
If they want to. So Tasha says yes if they want to. Amara, can a cheater really change? Truly
Yeah.
change?
If he wants to, yes.
Okay. Dimitri.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Mark.
Yeah, my
Okay.
bad. I was trying to get the mute off.
Okay.
For how long?
For how long? Ooh.
No, just joking. I'm joking.
No,
anybody can
no,
change. Anyone can change.
I'm gonna go with what you said. Now I'm gonna tell you this. So far as
Thank y'all for tuning in to another
I'm gonna
episode of
say
Unfiltered with Psycho 40
a cheater
Big
does not
respect to
change.
our guests for keeping
And I'm
it
gonna tell you
real,
why.
and love to every
It
listener
has to do
rocking
with
with us
a
week
person
after
being
week.
labeled a cheater. If a
This conversation
There's
ain't
people
over
who
yet.
cheat,
Stay locked in
right,
for
for
the next
various
episode
reasons.
coming
That does
soon.
not make them a
Until next
cheater.
time, keep it
A
unfiltered
cheater
with
is
Psycho
somebody
40
who cannot control themselves and will take every opportunity to do so, as long as the opportunity is there. That person has no type of discipline whatsoever. So in that case, if you are truly a cheater, you are truly not going to change, because that's just who you are. That's how I feel. All right. So
I was a cheater. I got rid of my spots and I got stripes. Now I'm a tiger.
God damn.
okay, whatever. So
Paul,
would you rather
go
be
get some dessert.
cheated on emotionally or physically? And I think we went over this, but Dimitri,
Neither.
emotionally or physically?
Neither.
Yeah, I might have to go with what she just said.
No.
Neither.
You have to pick one.
The option was
Don't play-
emotionally or
Yeah, don't play
physically.
the fence.
There's no fence sitters here.
I'd rather be cheated on emotionally then.
Okay, emotionally. Paul,
Physically.
physically. Words.
Neither.
There's no neither. Amara, I'm gonna pick for you then.
Physically.
Physically, okay. Mark, and of course, nobody wants to be cheated on, obviously. So I mean,
I would
that goes
say-
without saying.
Physically.
Physically, okay.
I would probably say physically if I have to
Physically.
choose.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna have to. Who said emotionally? Anybody? Okay, so
I said emotionally.
I thought
I
Dimitri said.
Dimitri said
I thought-
emotionally.
I
Okay.
don't want you doing it. I'd rather you think it. Why in the world I want y'all having sex and so I'm ready for you to think about it than to do it.
Dimitri, she already gone, bro. She already gone. Don't
Yeah,
worry about the physical act. She already gone, bro.
yeah, that's true. That's what you
And
said.
I guess it matters on how you feel about that person. Okay, so now, is flirting cheating? Yes or no?
Yes.
No.
Amara says
Yes.
Paul says
No.
no. Word says yes. Dimitri
If
says
it's the
I
accessibility.
say no because you have people that say my work husband and all that stuff, but that's not cheating when they be
Okay.
at work. Say
okay.
that.
Mark, what do you say?
I
Hard one.
would lean towards no. I lean
Okay.
towards no.
So
Because
interesting
I
is
see people do that to get with an extra burger at
Right.
restaurants. So you don't even know the person's.
Maybe you should
most of the times you're not
define-
attracted to the person. So
okay.
I would
Define
say
flirting.
no.
Yeah, I agree with you. Say so. We all know what flirting is. You know what flirting is. It's what you do.
Define flirting.
You know what it is because it's what you do. So anyway,
I do not
so
flirt.
so when I'm gonna say flirting is not cheating, because sometimes people may have a flirtatious personality, right? And they may do it like Mark said for certain reasons. Let me flirt with this person. Let me get these free tickets. Let me get this extra burger. Let me get some extra whatever. So it does.
Yeah,
I don't
ticket.
necessarily agree that it's cheating, but that's me. But anyway, let's go to the next one. Would you stay? And I think Paul answered this earlier. Would you stay after infidelity? Dimitri. The girl cheated on you. You gonna stay or not?
No,
You done?
no.
Okay. No exceptions.
Even if I truly love her, I'm gonna have to love her from afar.
Okay. Amara,
I unfortunately did
you
and
did.
got fucked.
Okay. So that's a yes for you. Paul.
You already
Oh,
know
you.
what
That's right. You said no.
I'm
Absolutely.
on a record.
Right.
Yeah.
You're the record. Words.
Um, what I say?
Would you stay
I have.
or would you go?
I
Okay, you
have.
have. Okay. Mark.
Does that include revenge?
That includes
I would
everything. Everything.
I would say no, I wouldn't stay. I feel violated. I feel like whoever you cheated with was touching me too. So nah, I
Okay,
can't be there.
and that's a interesting perspective too. Yeah. So for me, I'm going to say no, only because, and this is the only reason. This is the only reason. 'Cause I think things do happen, and I do understand there's certain situations, and but you're going to take all that into account. But I think it'll ruin the relationship going forward because you're always going to have that holding over the person's head, and it's going to bother you. So I think you should cut your losses. And that's a physical thing.
I
Emotionally,
won't do it today, but I've done it. I did it with
But-
my husband. I did it,
but no
but
more.
I wouldn't do it today. Hell no.
Okay. So last two, and this is a good one because I kind of could figure out what you're gonna say. Do men forgive cheating easier than women?
No.
Amara says no.
No.
Paul says no. Dimitri,
No.
Wirtz.
Repeat that question, please.
Do men forgive cheating easier than women?
No.
Okay, Mark.
I don't know what women y'all around. I gotta disagree because women can hold things, and nah, I think men forgive easier than women.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I don't know what nice women are. Y'all, I don't know what nice world y'all in with these nice women. I would love to be there, but not in my lifetime.
So I'm gonna say this. You might call us fence sitting, but I'm gonna say that I agree with both of you, and it depends. So,
Nah, you got to get off the fence,
so I'm
Brian. There's no.
Gotta go.
all right. So I'm gonna say men do forgive cheating easier than women. However, it affects men more traumatically than women. Like a man will will freaking think his life has ended if it happened to him, right?
That's why I say they don't.
But a man will still stick with that woman because he don't want the other person getting her, or he don't want to give up a good thing. So, I think they will do it. Not say forget. I think they will forgive.
Oh yeah, because they're not gonna forget because they gonna go out there and they about to do a whole bunch of revenge cheating.
Well, that's a factor too.
Good point.
I'm saying,
Good point.
All right,
they
so
about to go all. They about to go ham.
so my last one is when it comes. This is about trust, and obviously cheating is about trust too. Does body count affect trust? And this is a question for you, not nobody else, but for you, Dimitri. Does the other person's body count affects your trust in them?
Yeah.
Okay. High body count, less trust.
Yeah.
Okay. Amara?
No.
No. Okay. Paul?
I can't trust you to control your body.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, so it does. Okay. Wirtz?
I'm gonna say no because you usually don't know somebody's exact body count or
Okay.
approximate.
And especially, women lie about it. Men lie about it too.
Oh,
Men
yeah.
are always going to increase their count, and women are always going to decrease their count. That's my full
Oh
belief.
yeah.
Lies.
Yeah. Mark, what do you say? Does body count affect your trust in the person?
Yeah, it's weird you said that. I had a conversation today actually, with a coworker. He seems to think if they were younger, he'll give them a pass. But if they're older, if they had this large amount when they were younger, he'll give them a pass. But if they're when they
What?
became mature, like a teenager, as a teenager,
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
I
If
think
you're
it's
a
the opposite
teenager
though.
and you're wild,
Yeah, exactly.
he would give them a pass because you're young, you're
That's backwards.
experimenting, you're in college,
Okay,
things of that
okay,
nature. But as you become an adult, you know better. You should be settling down by that point. He wouldn't give him a pass.
okay.
But
I
for
got you.
me, I just think, yeah, it affects me. I don't want nobody with a number that's higher than mine or close to
I don't
mine.
want
So
I
no.
don't want your funky body bags. I
So
don't.
Yeah,
so
and I don't know if I can trust you to not put my life in danger. You
okay.
know,
So
the
now
body
Yeah.
count. So
in your situation, the way you're saying it is that, let's say if the person was a teenager, we're not counting the teenage years. We're talking about their body count from the time they was supposed to be a mature adult to
yeah,
present.
oh yeah, it would affect me
Okay,
because I want to make sure that I want to be around to see my grandkids whenever I have some.
I got you.
So yeah.
I'm gonna say it does, and I was gonna say no. I was gonna say no until Mark put his thing in there and kind of changed my perspective on that, because it does matter when you're older and you got like this high body count when you're supposed to be mature. When you're young and you're sowing your royal oats or whatever, or however women say it. But when you get to a certain age, there's a lot of factors that go into that. Like you should have got all that out when you were younger. So yeah, I think it does somewhat, not a lot, just somewhat.
You you've been absorbing so many other people's DNA.
Yes, yes, yes,
You
yes.
think that goes away once they finish college and start, settling down and stuff? A body count is a body count. Whether you start at
Exactly.
18 years old, a body count is a body count.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the way
It
Mark,
doesn't go away. It doesn't go away, but the mindset goes away.
right? So yeah, his more or less is a
Hopefully.
So
mindset than the body, the actual numbers that makes a difference.
Some people. That's
So
why I
then
don't.
what is the
Never
actual
mind.
question? Is the question on a mindset or is it actually on a number?
Well, yeah, the body count. Well, he said yes, the
Your
body
mind,
count
your
does.
mind is in your body, so it all ties into one.
Yeah,
So
I can't trust you. I can't trust you.
can't trust.
I can't
I
trust you.
mean, I hope y'all are single. I
I
hope you're
can't trust you.
single and like you living by yourself because everybody got a body count.
I'm sure.
Whether
Yeah.
it's higher than yours or not, which I think that's a
We
hypocritical statement. She can't
we
have a
know.
higher body count than
no,
me.
that's not
What
what I
the fuck?
said.
That's
That's not
crazy.
what I
Oh, I'm
said.
gonna say it.
That is not. Hold on. That is
Your
not what I
mental health
said.
ain't right. Your mental
I
health
said
ain't
I
right
don't want
because you got
anybody
DNA in
that's
your body.
close to mine or higher than mine. I didn't say she can't have one higher than mine. I wouldn't want that. That's
Right.
me and my preference.
And
So
and
it wouldn't be hypocritical because it's just me saying this and having this thought.
and mind you, he separated. He said basically, as a younger person is more acceptable, but once you hit that certain age, you shouldn't have.
Well, what's that certain age? Because to me, an adult is an adult. Period.
No.
Whether you're in
We
college
all
or not.
No, that's not true.
we all become mentally, emotionally, mentally adults at different ages. So I'm gonna say, for me, only because I was in the military, that I became an adult mentally, because I was forced to. That's just the name of the game when you go into the military. But
Yes.
but emotionally, no. Emotionally, when it comes to certain things like that, I probably didn't become a real adult emotionally till I was probably 30. So that makes a difference.
Amara, you got to understand when you're young, you're having fun, you trying to find yourself, you upcoming. I mean, you're going to do that. You know what I mean? You can't hold that the same thing when you get older. So it's a
I don't
difference.
see why not. I mean, to me, a body count is a body count.
Oh, we
But
we, we
okay.
had a prior podcast specifically on body counts. But anyway, that's it. Part 3 is done. I want to thank you guys for chiming in, and it was very enlightening. Some interesting and funny responses. And don't forget to check the next episode that's coming up. And if you have not already, go to www.psycho4081.com and hit that subscribe button down the bottom. Put that email in there because I'll start sending out notifications when we do have these recordings and we do have certain other events that we're going to be doing. So we need a word of the day, and I want to ask Works to give me a word of the day. maybe not.
You said the word of the day?
The word of the day, yes.
Stack.
Stack, S-T-A-C-K.
Yes.
Okay, so the word of the day is stack. So those who, at the end of the month get all the words of the day, and whoever's the first one to send it to our email, it's at unfiltered.psycho4081@gmail. The first one to give us all of the words of the day for the month, you are going to be eligible to receive a prize. So thank you all for coming and lending your perspectives. Is very valued, and I will catch you on the next one.
Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Unfiltered with Psycho 4081. Big respect to our guests for keeping it real, and love to every listener rocking with us week after week. This conversation ain't over yet. Stay locked in for the next episode coming soon. Until next time, keep it unfiltered with Psycho 4081.